If you're planning a move to Raleigh, North Carolina in the near future, there's a few things you need to prepare for, and we're going to detail them all for you up next. Hi, this is Chris Morton, real estate broker with eXp Realty in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so on today's video, we're going to talk about all the things you need to prepare for when you're making the big move from wherever you're from to Raleigh, North Carolina and the surrounding areas. It's not going to be exactly like it was where you're from. And so we're going to break down 7 of the things that we thought of that you need to know to prepare yourself for the big move. Let's start with number 1. The roads are not great. And we've talked about this topic in the past, but it definitely bears repeating. Roads are not great in the Triangle area. It's something you need to prepare yourself for. One of the big frustrations that people tell us about is there's not a lot of street lights. Unless you're on the interstates or the bigger roads, generally on the rural roads, the smaller roads, you're not gonna have a lot of lights. So you're really dependent on your car's headlights to get you around and to see where you're going. Another negative of our roads is the signs are really small. So you're gonna have to prepare that unless you're on one of those big interstate roads, you're gonna have to prepare that you're gonna see really tiny signs, and a lot of them are gonna be those street signs at the crosswalks to let you know where you're going and make sure you're going in the right direction. In addition, unfortunately, the road design decisions that were made in the past were not really good ones. Roads kind of weave in and out and they change names. For example, you could be on Durley Road and on Millbrook Road and on New Hope Road, and you've never left that straight shot. It's all the same road, they just change names. Be prepared for stuff like that to happen when you come here. And unfortunately, our roads are not on a grid pattern like you're gonna see in the Western United States. So it gets a little complicated when roads weave in and out and you have to make sharp turns to get from point A to point B. It can be really frustrating. So just be prepared for that. And finally, let me give you a quick tip on this topic. Do not, under any circumstances, make the mistake I've made in the past, and that is relying on your memory to get you from point A to point B in the triangle. Again, roads are under construction, so you're gonna have lots of changes going on and detours and this and that, and you may be thinking about a landmark that, say, a coffee shop that was on the corner of that street there. Well, it may not be there since the last time you were going by that street, so don't rely on your memory to get from point A to point B. We're in such a state of flux here in the area, you're gonna wanna use your navigation system. The number 2 thing you need to be prepared for when you move to Raleigh is be prepared to gain weight. It's very, very common for people to gain weight when they move from out of state to the Raleigh and surrounding areas of North Carolina. So please know there are some healthy options out there when you move to Raleigh, but we also have some unhealthy and delicious options as well. I don't know what exactly they put on the french fries at Bojangles, but please know it's addictive. So if you step into a Bojangles, you're gonna be coming back again and again and again, and they don't have very much low-calorie food there. The other thing you need to know about the South is people in the South like their portions large. They're value-sized portions. And in fact, if you go out to eat with some folks from the South and the restaurant you go to has tiny little portions, most likely the Southerners are gonna complain, hey, where's the rest of my meal? We've gotten ripped off. Well, it's probably a normal size portion, but for us here in the South, we like our giant size portions, so be prepared. The number 3 thing you need to be prepared about when moving to the Raleigh area is basements are rare. So very few homes have basements. This is a question we get all the time from people that want our help buying their home when they move to Raleigh. And we have to break it to them that basements, unfortunately, are not as common as they are up in, say, some of the northern cities. Basements are only done in our area when the land allows for it. In other words, we don't do one of those fully enclosed basements that are dug out to create the space. We only do a basement when the land has a slope in the back, and therefore they can do a daylight basement that has windows and a door and that sort of thing. And unfortunately, that's fairly rare. Doesn't even matter if the house is an inexpensive house or a really expensive house. It's strictly done by the topography of the land. So if you're wanting a basement, understand it's a rare thing, and you're gonna have to hunt and search around for quite a while to find your perfect house. The number 4th thing you've got to be prepared for is Raleigh's population is exploding. So as you're moving to the area, prepare that Raleigh is growing very rapidly. We are always perpetually at the very top of all of these best cities to live lists, and it's bringing lots of people to the area. Possibly you're coming to the area because of all those lists. And because of that, the population is dramatically increasing. It's projected that by 2040, we're going to see a population somewhere around 3 million people here in the area, as compared to around 2 million that we have now. So that's a fairly dramatic growth, and something that we're all going to need to get used to, and something you need to prepare for. Also understand, as we get an increase in population, we're going to see lots of changes going on, such as cultural changes, traffic pattern changes, all of that stuff, further things you need to be prepared for. Also understand that we do not have a transportation system in the area, and so you're going to be needing to be prepared for that, and the shock that happens, especially if you come from somewhere that has a tram system or a monorail or a subway or something like that. And that lack of a transportation system leads into our number 5 thing you need to be prepared for: prepare to have a car. As we've mentioned, Raleigh and the surrounding area is not exactly what you would call walkable, so you're going to need a car to get supplies, food, all of those sort of things. It's just a necessity in our area. And you're also going to probably want to explore and discover some of those things that make Raleigh and the Triangle unique. And unfortunately, to do that, you're going to need a car. And by all means, please make sure your brakes are good when you get here. There's a lot of stopping and starting that happens, especially during rush hour. It's just something that we've had to grow accustomed to. And so watch what you're doing and make sure your brakes are in good working order. The number 6 thing you need to be prepared for is prepare to bring a bike and your walking shoes. So Raleigh has over 100 miles of paved greenway. It's something we are really proud of and are famous for. It allows you to go from one end of the city to the other without even getting on the road. People use this paved greenway for biking, running, jogging, walking. And we even saw yesterday a couple of police officers on horseback on the Greenway. It's a really great way to get some exercise and be outside and get the fresh air. We make it a point of going walking on the Greenway every night with Winston to get exercise for about an hour. He loves it, and it again helps us out because we're getting a little bit of exercise between clients and Zoom calls and doing videos for you guys. The number 7 thing you need to be prepared for is Yelp, and the search engines are going to be your best friends. So if you're coming from a bigger city to Raleigh, it's probably going to be a little bit of a shock to you. When you get here, all you're going to see are chain stores, chain restaurants, fast food joints, that sort of thing. And it's going to probably depress you and make you think that's all we have here. And actually, that could not be further from the truth. But I promise if you dig a little deeper, you're going to find some hidden gems amongst all those chain stores and chain restaurants. So we have a ton of mom and pop and independent restaurants, shops, etc. that are kind of off the beaten trail. They're not on the main drag where you're going to see all the big box stuff, but it's definitely worth your effort to find them. And that's going to require you to do a little bit of research. Definitely recommend you check out some of the local Triangle food blogs. Maybe ask your new neighbors, friends, coworkers, that sort of thing. And of course, you can always rely on Yelp and the search engines. But keep in mind, those online reviews are not always super trustworthy. For example, you're gonna find a place like City Barbecue get high reviews as a great place to go get barbecue in the area. And to be really blunt about it, it's not that good. There are many other places around that have much better barbecue than City Barbecue, but because they're a big box barbecue joint, people go, they think that's the best there is. It's not. In fact, as a side note, we've been doing a video series on best barbecue, pork barbecue in the Triangle. We're gonna release a video here on YouTube really soon, ranking the top 10 best places to get barbecue in the Triangle. City Barbecue is not one of those. It's also important to check out the local news and blog sites to get an idea about some of the things that are coming up that you can go out and go do. There's always a festival going on or some sort of event in the Triangle, and by checking out these websites, it's going to give you a good idea of some stuff that you can put on your calendar to go check out and have some great fun. So those are 7 tips of things you need to be prepared for as you make your move into Raleigh. We hope it's been helpful. We'd love you to check out this video. We think it's going to be as equally helpful. And as always, like and subscribe below, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.